Hey, hey. Sorry, I was over at the printer, not paying attention. How is everybody? We do have 6 duck race spots left. If you have not gotten in the duck race and you want in, you've got another minute or two, and then we're going to get rolling. But there are spots 1, 2, 22, 23, 26, and 27 if you would like in. But we are going regardless. So, if you are feeling lucky and want a shot, that's fine. If you want to sit it out, that's fine too. Just making sure I got all my quite literal ducks in a row back here. I'll close it. That's 30, right, Jonathan? Yeah, Jonathan, that's fine. Yep. I will put you down. Jonathan's going to close them out and take the last 6. Appreciate it, Jonathan. Jonathan Heitzman. I always second guess the spelling of your last name, and I realize if it's on a piece of paper that only I, or I guess we see, it's not an official paper. It doesn't really matter, I guess. I just feel like I'm being disrespectful if I'm not spelling it correctly. So, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I promise. I'm scribbling it enough that you can't tell if it's spelled properly or not. All right. Some gloves. All right, first things first. Let's go over the list. So this is our owner list for tonight. As everybody's aware, I've noticed that we've been taking a little bit longer to fill things recently, which is kind of expected. We've sort of hit a little bit of I would call it kind of a slump. You know, we're waiting on the new products to come out, and everything else is sort of like it's exciting, but it's not new. You know, like we're just sort of in a weird time. So what you may notice is some of these breaks, I may actually pare the driver list down, condense it down a little bit. And what I mean by that is I might make the unlisted spot have a little bit more substance to it. And I might remove a few more drivers that seem to always land in the fillers. For example, this break, I didn't list Eric Almirola. Almirola's been, I think, in the last 3 fillers we've run without being claimed. So I just went ahead and stuck him in the filler because that's, you know, just sort of made sense. So if you feel like the lists are a little different or maybe a little bit less drivers, that's why I'm kind of doing that on purpose. When blasters and I have not, Lewis. The last I heard was they were talking about sometime around the second week of October for select retail. And of course, once we get those, then we'll have some new breaks to do, because obviously we got some parallels to chase in those. But in the meantime, we've got Turn 4 coming out this coming week on Friday, which I 100% believe Turn 4 will drop in price. It has to. The checklist, guys, I looked at the checklist. I'm not wowed by the checklist. So the price, and I'll do like maybe a whole live chat with folks later this week, and we'll just dive into Turn 4 together, and talk checklist and stuff. But the price has to come down on it. There's no way. I promise you, there is no way it stays at $250. So, if you're considering ordering a box or thinking about that or whatever the case may be, I implore you, wait, because the price is absolutely going to come down. It has to. I cannot fathom a life or a scenario where Turn 4 survives at $250 a box. I just don't see it. So it really ought to be less than $150. Probably $120 to $140 is where it's going to land eventually. So anyways, like I said, we'll do a whole deep dive into that, but that is coming out on Friday. So we'll see what happens between now and Friday. So, anyway, here's our duck list. Jonathan Heitzman took the last spots to help fill, so I appreciate that. And everybody else, I appreciate everybody's, everybody's support, filling, and all that stuff. So, let's get this show on the road. At $250, just buy an exactly, Scott, exactly. If you're going to spend that kind of money, just buy NT. It'll be way better. So, all right, let's get this duck race going. We're looking for top three. Top three drivers is what we're after. We're going to shuffle them one time. And here we go. And then we're going to get this break rocking and rolling. For my football fans that do football breaks with us, I'm excited about tomorrow's mixer. I think it's a cool mixer. We got a full-size autographed jersey, a Gold Rush jersey. We've got another box of Encore. We've got a box of that Score Halloween packs, which is cool because there's different parallels in there. And then we got a blaster of Totally Certified. So it's still a cheap break. 17 wins. I think one was second. Yep. So 17 wins. That's going to be Micah. One was second. That's Jonathan Heitzman. And third is 15, which is going to be Micah. $17-1. Yeah. 17, then 1, and then 15. 17 was first place, Micah. 1 was second place, Jonathan Heitzman. 15, third place, Micah. So Micah and Jonathan. And again, appreciate everybody who helped with that. So let's get this bad boy rocking and rolling for you guys. Here is the custom I made for last week's race winner, Ryan Blaney, New Hampshire. I thought that was really cool with the grandstands in the background and all the fans still there. And I think it's neat that you can see New Hampshire Motor Speedway up there. I just thought that really good photo. I didn't do anything, obviously, other than borrow the picture and put it on a card, basically. But cool photo. So, Ryan Blaney spot, that's going to Robert Rich. I just thought that one was cool. And we got a Chase Elliott one I'll be making this week. Well, glad I got it. There you go, John. Absolutely. Good karma for you. Good karma for you. All right. So we got, pardon me. I don't know why all of a sudden I got a frog in my throat. But anyway, 2 mega boxes to get started out of Donruss. I had somebody message me. I think it was, I think it was Sea Salt messaged me earlier. I was at the card show. I'm 99% sure it was Sea Salt, though. And messaged me and said he opened a mega box at home, and he got a Denny slingshot. So maybe we're due for a slingshot too. Let's see what we can do. Hi, bud.
Hi.
What you doing?
Which of the day are you gonna fix my light, perhaps?
Oh, your light. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting, don't I? I will fix it tomorrow, okay?
Okay. Can you do it while I'm at school?
Yep. Yep. I'll get you a new light bulb tomorrow. Where are you guys going? They're like moving on me. Did you guys see that? They were like just creeping. They're still trying to do it. I was going to say, I knew I lost a piece of wrapper. All right, here we go. Certainly curious to hear what you guys thought of the race tonight, or today. I have a couple thoughts on the race, and I'll wait to hear what you guys think. But mine aren't really in relation to the winner or how the race itself went. I have a different statement I want to make regarding the race. Souvenir swatches, Ben Rhodes. That's going to go to Rick. Going to Rick. Those cards are still trying to move on me. Lord. Spellbound, Chase Elliott, letter E. I only saw the last about 80 laps. Stage 3 the final stage had already started when I turned it on. So I really can't speak to the race very well. So I'm not going to try. Silver Explosion, Caden Honeycutt. And Blue Velocity, Optic Richard Petty. Agree with John. Exciting finish. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I agree with you guys 100%. Like, the finish was excellent. Unleashed Kyle Larson. And all I can do is go with what you guys are saying. If you think the race was, lacking a little something, then hopefully the finish made up for it. Jake Garcia on the Explosion Silver. I watched the Bears game instead. Da Bears. Da Bears. Blue Velocity, Josh Berry. We watched at the card show I was at. We were able to watch the Steelers game on my wife's phone, and then we watched the Browns up until it was time for us to leave. But that game was basically over when we when we left to come home because the Browns were getting smoked at that point. Browns are going to brown. Coming attraction, Carson Quapple. So the only thing I'll say about the race, because again, I only saw about the last 80 laps. When I tuned in, they were the announcers were starting to talk about how Denny and Seabell were going to need really good pit stops under green, to see who was going to come out on top and all that stuff. And then, of course, they had a caution, and there was no green flag pit stops. Pedal to the metal, Chris Buescher. Going to Dale. But anyway, the only thing I want to say about the race, I mean, the finish was excellent, and kudos to Chase. He just kept racing, never quit. Right? And that's what you do. So kudos to him for sure. The only thing I'll say is I still can't stand when NASCAR... Oh, I still can't stand when... We're good. Nick's okay. No issues with Nick. Blue Velocity, Nick Sanchez. I can't stand when NASCAR throws a caution with... I don't know how many laps were left when that caution came out for the tire. And the guy spun down in the infield. I forget. I want to say there was 10 or 11 laps left. And somehow throwing the caution with 10 or 11 to go equates to having to be in overtime because they're incapable of lining up and restarting the race. I don't understand why they have to say, hey, pit road's open, and if somebody pits, then, we have to hold everything up and let them pit. No, you don't. If they want to pit, let them pit. That's their problem, right? Just go. Tell them the green flag's dropping the next time around. Parker Retzlaff going to Rick. 242 of 249 on the Carolina Blue. I think it was Hocevar. But you know what I mean? And so I was watching the ticker where they show the lineup, and it had 5 to go on the screen. It says 5 to go and then the lineup. And I kid you not, if you guys have it on DVR, you could go back and watch it. It goes from 5 to go, and then all of a sudden, as you're watching, it goes from 5 to go, and it just flips and says overtime. Now, how did we go from 5 to go to overtime? 73 and 99, Blue Pulsar Optic, I think is what we're calling this maybe, or Blue Wave Optic. Zane Smith, going to Bill. Sharp card. I can't stand how long it takes them to get re-lined up after a caution and running again. And I understand if there's a bunch of debris on the track and you got to clean it up, fine. But if you also know that there's 10 laps to go and you got to do some cleanup, then just red flag it, park everybody, and clean it up. Quapple on the Blue Velocity Optic. You saw 3 to go before it changed to OT. I promise you, if I go back and rewatch, if I think of it, I'll try to do it later. I swear it went from 5 to go straight to overtime. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Silver Explosion, Noah Gragson. And maybe I'm an old man and maybe I missed something. That is entirely possible. In the in-car? Yeah, maybe. Okay. Well, and who knows? Like I said, Blue Velocity, Austin Hill. Yeah, it's that's scary stuff for sure, Scott. See, that was what I was getting at. Is I felt like if NASCAR had thrown, if we had gotten back to green flag racing with 5 or 6 to go, instead of basically green white checkered finish like they had, does that result in them being quite as chaotic on the restart? And then does Zane end up flipping, or is things a little bit more orderly on the restart? Blue Velocity, Ricky Stenhouse. Race Kings, Chase Elliott. I don't know. I hate to beat a dead horse, I guess. And again, I know it's not going to go anywhere, but like, just give us racing on the track. Stop wasting laps. I feel like sometimes they want to be able to say, we're in overtime. You're getting more than you paid for today in racing. You know what I mean? Like, look at what you got to see. You got to see an overtime finish. I think they're quick to try to do that. And again, like I said, probably just me being a negative Nancy, and I need to get over it more than anything. Nonetheless, the finish was excellent. Good, hard racing. Well, that sucked. Yeah. Nancy. I thought it was Karen. Yeah, under 20 to go, Delaware double file. I like the Delaware double file idea. That would be cool. The leader gets to set the pace and everybody else is double file behind them. I would like that. The leader should get an advantage if you're the race leader. I'm not sure the race leaders on the restarts had an advantage at all today. At least from what I saw. Optic Gregson. Souvenir swatches Kevin Harvick. It's going to go to John Boyles. I got to open some more 130s. Karen is the daughter of Nancy. Nice. Yep, Delaware double file would be the way to go for sure. That would be bitching for NASCAR to do. Race Kings, Kyle Busch. William Byron, Blue Velocity. Oh, this looks nice. 61/99. Race Kings, Tyler Reddick. Going to Troy. I saw something on Facebook. I don't know if you guys heard about it or not, or if they talked about it pre-race or But apparently Tyler Reddick's child is in ICU and not in the best of shape. So if you guys hadn't heard about that, probably be good to keep them in mind. That's tough to deal with. I've been there and done that. That's very difficult. You feel incredibly helpless, like you can't do anything. Spellbound Chase Elliott T. Explosion Silver Casey Kane. And we got a hollow optic Brent Cruz rated rookie for heart problems. Well, that's certainly serious. Yep, scary stuff for any parent or child for that matter. It's obviously incredibly scary for the kid too, but. And I'm not, I mean, self-admittedly, I'm not the biggest Tyler Reddick fan, but, that's really beside the point. So, Blue Velocity Dale Jr., Unleashed Chase Elliott, Optic Tanner Gray, Spellbound Jeff Gordon, letter D. We got the D. So, one thing I can talk to you guys about is the card show that I did today. Grove City Card Fest here in Columbus, Ohio. Grove City is just like a suburb. So basically it's a Columbus card show, essentially. But big show here in our area. It's probably the biggest one in Central Ohio. Little over 200 dealer tables. If you follow Card Collector 2, his name's Ryan Johnson. If you follow him on any social medias, as far as Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, they put out a ton of content. He is one of the show promoters and is heavily involved in the show. So saw Ryan today. But anyway, he and Brad put on an excellent show. They do a great job. And so the show that I did was really, really nice. It's always a good show, good people, good crowd. Just everything about it is really positive all the way around. Pedal to the Metal, Ice, Justin Allgaier, 2-color sheet metal, going to Michael Clay. SVG started a lap down and finished. Yeah, I heard he finished 10th. Yeah. That's impressive. So I had a lady come up to me at the card show, and she's like, hey, do you buy cards? And I said, yeah, I'll take a look at anything. What do you got? And she goes, well, would you be interested in a gold Kyle Larson autograph? And I said, yes, I would. And so she gets it out of her box, and it's a optic gold auto to 10, not a door number. 23 of 249, Matt Mills. Going to Rick Komnick in the unlisted spot. And so she shows me the card, and I look it over and asked her what she wanted for it, and she said, well, I have a sticker on it at $150 because she saw, like, on eBay somebody sold one for that or something. at one time or whatever. And so I said, look, I can't pay that. I said, you know, as far as Kyle Larson is concerned, you know, I feel like I'm tapped into his market enough. And, you know, if I'm the dealer and you're coming up to me and asking me to buy something, I'm going to try to get it at a deal, right? So she brings it to me and I said, look, I would offer you $75 for it. I said, or I could probably offer you more than that on a trade if you wanted to trade for something, because they were eyeballing some wrestling stuff. And she very much took offense to the fact that I said $75 or maybe a little more on trade. And she said, well, if that's all you're offering, then I'll put it on eBay. And she took it and they just kind of walked off. And I thought, okay, so yeah, Scott, that was my thought. My initial thought was, oh man, I can pick up a PC card. And boy, did that did that conversation flip quickly. $34.99 with the Blue Wave or Blue Pulsar optic, Ben Rhodes. Going to Rick. So I did not buy it. But I really didn't even have a chance to say anything to her, but I would have said, you know, even if you sell it for $110 on eBay, you're only going to see 75 to 80 of it. So I guess, yeah, blue Velocity optic. I guess if you see a Larson optic gold signature show up, and it says it's located somewhere in Ohio, that's probably her trying to sell her card. Not that I say any, you know, go buy it if you want it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. Luke Fenhouse, Blue Velocity rated rookie. It just, you know, it's one of those things where I was like, well, dang, all right. Spellbound Connor Zilic. You know, as a collector, if I'm at a show and I want to sell something to a dealer at a show, I'm going to assume that they're not going to pay me full price, right? Like, that's not... So, and I do, for the record, as a Larson collector even, I think for the record, I think the value on a gold Larson auto is about $100, for the record. So, I think 150 is too much, in my opinion. And that's spoken as somebody who has some of those cards. And I think that's too much. So, empty box. I mean, I sold a gold Kyle Busch today for $75. And, you know, I think Larson might have slightly more value at this point, but not a lot more. You're comparing similar. Well, not even so. I mean, Busch has a better resume overall still. So 107 to 199, purple Bobby Labonte going to Kevin Bennett. Yeah, exactly. I tell everybody. I mean, and if any of you guys have ever dealt with me on non-racing stuff, trying to move some things, you'll know how I handle it. I want to be at a right around 75 to 80% is the sweet spot that I need to be at, that I'll offer to buy things. If it's a card that seems like it will sell quickly, then I might offer a bit more. Like if it's not something I'm feeling like I could be holding for a while, then I might offer more. But 36 of 125, red Brent Cruz goes to Sea Salt, and then vice versa. If it seems like something that could sit in a box or a showcase for a while, I might offer less. But Scott hit the nail on the head. Most dealers, it shows, if they're buying, that's about where they're going to try to be. 75 to 80% of whatever the value or comps are. All the Anthony Richardson cards. Silver, Anthony Alfredo. Have I told you that story about the Anthony Richardson that I had forever? Maybe I've told that story and I forgot. I still have a Hendon Hooker RPA that I've had forever too. I just keep putting it out. I figure one of these days somebody will snatch it up. Or he'll retire like, what's his name, Jordan Travis. Blue Riley Herbst, 112 of 175. That's going to go to Filler 3 and Micah. Oh, here we go. 13 of 49. Legendary Signatures, Purple Dale Jr. That's nice. That goes to Micah. He'll retire. Very nice, Dale Jr. Congrats, Micah. That doesn't suck at all. That's nice. Look for a Panther fan. He's on their practice squad. Oh, see, I didn't even know. Oh, here we go. Trackside Silver, Tyler Ankrum. These are definitely tough to pull because I've only seen, I think, maybe a few. 3 or 4. We haven't seen many of these. Yeah, Micah's... I forgot all about that, Micah. You're killing it with Dale Jr. You should go buy a lotto ticket, matter of fact. You might as well strike while the iron's hot. Purple Eric Almirola. Again, as I mentioned, Almirola is an unlisted driver tonight. Going to Rick. 55 of 85. And then we got a redemption. IOU. Trackside Action Signatures. Harrison Burton. Harrison Burton went unclaimed. And goes to filler number 2 and Jonathan Heitzman. So Jonathan with the Harrison Burton redemption. Silver Bobby Labonte. Whoa. I had an extra penny sleeve, I guess, that came with that one. Which is worse, being a Panthers, Jets, Giants, or... I'll answer that for you, Scott. It's a Browns fan. Browns fan, it's the worst. I was a Jets fan before the Browns. It's worse being a Browns fan. Although I was pretty miserable as a Jets fan, so I guess I shouldn't say too much. Silver Alan Kulwicki. Mike says definitely Falcons. Yeah, I'll answer that question. When the teacher asks a question, you're like, ooh, I know. Purple Ryan Blaney Going to Robert Rich. That is 17 out of 199. Then we got AJ Allmendinger, selective swatches. Going to Rick. Falcons when you lose to the Panthers. Oh my. I'm going to move this Reddick. I feel like leaving him there is making us not find something. I'm going to leave that open as a way of saying, hey, we need a card to go there. Well, lucky, lucky, lucky. How about a gold Mark Martin? That's how you do it, folks. Piece of pie. Going to Andy Heisey. 6 out of 10. Oh, it's such a bummer that it's the 55 Aaron's car and a 6 of 10 serial number. Daggone it. Still awesome. I haven't been watching tonight. How bad are the Packers beating Dallas currently? Gold mark for Andy. Nicely done, Andy. Oh, no, Scott. Oh, no. Tricolor, Christopher Bell. 16-13 Dallas. Who had that on their bingo card when the night started? I know I didn't. Red and Fuego, Chase Elliott. Boy, he was on fire today, that's for sure. Micah says, I hate Alabama so much after yesterday, I won't even use Tide detergent anymore. Oh, here we go. 9/99 on the Chase Elliott and Fuego door number. Who's got Chase? Steve Teskey. On the night Chase wins a incredible race, we pull a door number and Fuego. That's cool. Congrats, Steve. Trackside Alfredo. Love watching the Bears win and Packers lose. I feel like the Packers beat the Bears a lot there when Rodgers was in Green Bay. Didn't he like own Chicago or something? Wasn't that his catchphrase? I own you or something like that. Tricolor, AJ Allmendinger. I'm not trying to touch a nerve though. Trackside, Kyle Busch. Empty box. I suppress those days. Anybody stay up and watch the Penn State game last night? Penn State, Oregon? I had to get up at 5:15 this morning for that card show, and I still stayed up to watch That was a good game. Penn State could have rolled over, and they didn't. They kept fighting, and I think they should be, commended for that for sure. Purple Richard Petty going to Troy. 18 out of 199. I truly believe Oregon's got a little more firepower than Penn State. And so for Penn State to come back the way they did and really, push them right to the edge, shows a lot about Penn State, I think. They got a good football team. Red Lawless Allen going to Rick. 102 of 125. Fuego Denny. Silver Jeb Burton. Blue Jeb Burton. Going to Rick. 24 out of 175. Then we got a Silver Signatures Corey Day. Going to Lewis. Nice Corey Day auto. Tank top with no sunscreen is a terrible idea. Most painful shower of my... Oh, no, Scott. Getting a sunburn is the worst. We got another silver trackside. That's our second one of those. And I promise those are pretty rare. We've not pulled very many. Caden Honeycutt going to Sea Salt. Maybe 4, 5, 6, something like that at most. Like, we've not pulled many of them. Almost be sick in a... Yeah, it's... I remember when I was a kid, Scott, I was probably 14 in junior high, 13, 14. It was the middle of summer, and a bunch of us on the baseball team I was on went swimming, and we all got burnt, but I was a catcher. I had sunburn on the top of my knees, right where your thigh meets your knee on the top of your... on the top of your thigh, I guess, but closer to your knee. I had sunburn there. I had sunburn on my shoulders. And I had to put all that catcher's gear on and catch a baseball game. Burnt. Oh, it was bad. I remember my dad gave me 3 or 4 Tylenol before the baseball game started. And he said, take these because you're going to wish you had if you don't take them now. And I don't think they did one. They probably did help, but gosh, that was painful. Purple Casey Kane. Going to Dale. 8 out of 85. Yeah, my dad did that at, so my dad did that at the very first Brickyard 400 back in, what was it, 93 or 94? My dad was there, and he got sunburnt on the top of his thighs, right by his knees. And my dad was still a welder and fabricator at the time. And so he had to go into work on Monday and wear his pants and weld, and you got sparks flying, hitting you in the leg. Oh, he was miserable too, he said. Joe Nemechek, tie-dye, legendary signatures. Front row Joe, going to Rick on the redemption. 2 redemptions in 2 boxes. That's a little bit unique. We haven't seen that many redemptions really out of this stuff. That is interesting. Silver Caden Honeycutt. Oh yeah, you can get sunburnt from welding too. Absolutely you can. Silver Ty Dillon. Purple J-Mac. Going to John Boyles. $180 or $199. I found it weird they left out autos for Bell, Creed, and Hocevar and Select this year. Was glad to have Bell autos back, but looks like it's only with Don. Yeah, JJ. Agreed. I'm in that boat with you, and we're rowing together. And I was extremely disappointed when I saw Turn 4 has no autos for Christopher Bell again. And very little cards for Bell anyway. Like, what is the deal? Like, do they not like him? Or does he not like them? Or I don't know. Blue Sparks, Jake Garcia. 27 out of 35. I just wish if there was a top 10 driver in the Cup Series that they're not going to include specific things with, that they would put a little blurb like, hey, this driver is excluded because of contract negotiation issues or because whatever, Jumbo. Yeah, I don't know. Gold Ken Schrader. That's cool. We'll take that. Going to Billy Joe. 3 out of 10 on Ken. Yeah, we'll do a one day or a night this week. We'll do kind of a deep dive and just have a sole chat about Turn 4 and if you guys want to chat through the checklist, I'll answer questions or help you find stuff or whatever I can at the same time too. Talk about what my strategy might be if we're going to break any, how we're going to break it, all that stuff. 3 of 10, Ken Schrader. I mean, obviously we're going to break some at some point. I think that's a given. It's a matter of how we're going to do it, what the format's going to be, and what that's going to look like, basically. But obviously we're going to break some. But It just further. I was told by somebody that, oh, well, this product is going to push. Somebody tried to argue with me that Turn 4 is going to push customers and fans to go to their hobby shop and buy a box instead of getting in a break. And I said, no, I think you have that reversed. I think Turn 4 only makes sense for breaks. People aren't going to want to open a box that has 4 cards in it for $250. You know, if you're going to spend $250, you could probably get in, at least a couple case breaks with your favorite driver and have at least a shot at getting what you're wanting. I just feel like it only further drives home the point. 15 of 49 on the Sensations Kyle Larson. That's going to go to CW. Yeah, I don't see it, you know? Trackside, Ty Dillon. And I'm not, you guys know me. I'm not trying to, like, blow smoke because I'm the breaker over here. Because I love I think Select's a good product. I think Donruss is a good product. I think if you want to go out and buy a hobby box of either one of them, I don't think you're going to get hurt too bad. You know what I mean? You got the itch to open something? Have at it. For $250, you could open 2 hobby boxes of Select. You're going to get way better value, in my opinion. You're bound to hit something decent in 2 boxes. I mean, we've opened 2 so far, and look what we've got. We got 2 golds, a Dale Jr. auto, Corey Day rookie auto, like Chase Elliott door number. Yeah. So. Open some at the track. Yeah, I don't know why they don't publicize or make that a bigger thing too, make it known that there's an event happening and advertise it and get people to come. 125 or 175, Corey Day. That's what I mean. Like, see, Scott, you're probably one of the one of the more serious NASCAR card collectors that was at the race. Or at least one of the probably 100, if there's another 100 that are serious, you're at least among the very small percentage. I'm sure you would have loved to have been there for that, but if you don't know when, where, what's going on, Justin Haley, 63 of 199. Justin's going to Rick. So, I even told the one Panini rep one time, like, if you guys ever put an event together at a race, if you cover my expense to get there, you don't have to pay me a dime. I'll come out and I'll promote the brand. I'll bust boxes and talk about, the product and the cards, and I'll come out and be the hype man. You know what I mean? Not that I'm anybody special, because I'm not, but I've at least opened enough boxes of cards to have a little bit of, I guess, at least a little bit of knowledge about the products and the lines and stuff like that. So you can't buy back. Yeah, so they had them at one of the tracks. I think it was at Daytona. I saw where they had blaster boxes. I think it was at Daytona. Boy, we've seen a lot of Jake Garcia tonight, haven't we? Lime green, Jake Garcia, 29 of 75, going to Rick. NASCAR hauler had boosters at Darlington. There you go. I was going to say, I was thinking there was one more recent too. Darlington. Micah just said it. I knew that they had done it more recently too. Silver signatures, Noah Gragson. Going to Scott. 24 select blasters. 24 select blasters are hard to find too, yeah. 24 select in general is hard to find. Andres Perez, red. Going to Rick. 85 of 125. Somehow, okay, I got to read this whole comment from David because this looks like it's going to be good. Somehow, despite spending my kids' college funds on rainbow chases, I'm still 2 Busher tracksides short of the full rainbow. The out of 10 and 101 retail. Someone in BFE has them both, and I'll never know. Or, well, with the 101, David, maybe it's not been pulled yet. That's funny. Oh, I'm sure, Scott. I'm sure you were sitting in the stands leaning like we all do when our favorite driver is winning or trying to get to the front. You know, we all have that, come on, you got that lean. It's just built into race fans. We all do it. Tricolor, Daniel Suarez. It's like, I'll show you this real quick. It's like when I was a kid and I first got a Nintendo and we'd play Mario Brothers. You know how you pushed, I forget whether it was A or B, and Mario would jump and you had to jump over the pipes and stuff. Once in a while I'd get my mom to play with me, not very often. And she'd be playing and she'd hit the button, but when she'd hit the button to jump, she'd take the remote and go like this. Like that was going to somehow make him jump higher. And Fuego red, Denny Hamlin going to Braxton. 9 out of 99 for Denny also. So we got 2 red and Fuegos, both serial numbered 9 and 99. Denny's not a door number though. Well, just stick with it, David. Stick with it. White, Brent Cruz. And if you keep reminding us of what you're hunting for, we'll try to do our part to help you. Brent Cruz, 58 of 99, going to Sea Salt. I will tell you what. Talking about David's issue with trying to work on his rainbow, I'll just say this. We've got Secret Santa coming up. I know it's almost the end of September, and it's crazy to think about that. But I have seen some people get some pieces of their rainbows in Secret Santa because there are people watching that will remember, hey, he was looking for this. And they'll send it for Secret Santa. And I've had people send cards like that with a note that says, this goes to so-and-so. They need it for their rainbow, or they need it for their set. So, just keep that in mind. You never know who's listening out there and what they may have and what they may surprise you with. Bailey Curry, trackside action signatures, going to Rick. I have seen it multiple occasions. been congratulated. Oh, yeah, that's cool. When you can celebrate with the other fans and high fives and, toast a beer. Silver Austin Dillon. That's what it's all about, man. Silver Jake Garcia. Don't remember what. I love it. David Reagan Blue. Oh, yeah. Chase is super popular, for one. 147 to 175 for David Reagan. And then the fact that Chase beat Denny and Bubba at the line, basically. Probably, I can imagine the reaction was probably pretty incredible. Justin Allgaier, selective swatches going to Michael Clay. No, they were kind of messing around, showing replays of Denny running into Bubba, and I don't even remember seeing Chase do his burnout or anything victory wise, because they were showing the finish replays and other stuff. By the time they cut to Chase, he was already out of the car. Oh, okay. We got a tie-dye Ken Schrader for Billy Joe. We might be building a rainbow here for Billy Joe. We got the gold and the tie-dye now. 12 of 25. That's all right with me. Tricolor Justin Bonsignor. And trackside Ryan Blaney. I think we'll, I know I told you guys about the Monday Night Football break tomorrow. That's the next break. But I think Tuesday night, we will just run this back on Tuesday. We'll duplicate this break on Tuesday. So same everything. Same list. Same, 4 boxes of Select, 2 mega boxes of Donruss. We'll just run this back completely again on Tuesday night. Yeah, there's so many people that dislike those two that I'm sure they were going nuts. I thought it was cool that Denny was willing to do what he needed to do to win. Denny wanted that 60th win bad. I think Denny knows his window of opportunities is narrowing, and he's got to capitalize on every opportunity he gets, I think he sees what's maybe happened with Kyle Busch a little bit, and he doesn't want that to happen to him right away, and I'm not saying it's something that's happened to Kyle. It's circumstances. I think it's a lot of things. Purple Justin Haley, 29 of 199. Going to Rick. Rick's done really well with the unlisted spot. Since Zilich missed Texas, his average finish is less than 2. That's pretty wild. Corey Himes probably got a similar, maybe not quite that similar, but Corey Himes got to have a really high average finish too, no? I feel like Heim gets overlooked because of Zilich, because they're both having incredible years. 91 of 125, Austin Hill goes to Filler 1 and Micah. Ty Dillon silver. See, I don't watch enough of the trucks to know that I guess he's getting some DNFs in there too. Jesse Love. White Jesse Love. Going to Micah. Oh, and you guys aren't going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. Jesse Love, 2 out of 99. What number is Jesse Love? I can't remember what number he is. Anyway, you won't believe this. Legendary Signatures silver. Dale Earnhardt Jr. going to Micah. That's what I thought. That's a door number, Jesse Love. I wanted to get on to the Dale Jr. though, because I knew I had a dupe. Silver to go with the purple Dale Jr. auto. I'll go back to Love real quick. Yeah, that's a door number. 2 of 99. Going to Micah. That's cool. 2 door numbers tonight. Silver trackside, Brandon Jones. That's our 3rd silver trackside tonight. I swear we haven't pulled many. Anyway, Brandon Jones goes to Filler 1 and Micah. Oh, that's weird. Tricolor Bobby Labonte. As far as the rest of the schedule coming up this week, we're going to just play it by ear for the next day or so. Going to see what happens here with turn 4. And then we'll make a plan accordingly. Whether we're going to do maybe a mixer on Friday with some turn 4, or if they actually do bring the price down to Planet Earth, maybe we can do a break straight up with turn 4. But either way, we'll probably do something on Friday with it. It's just a matter of what, or how, I should say. Luke Fenhouse going to Sea Salt, 147 of 199, purple. And we got another redemption. Man. Legendary Signatures, Joe Nemechek. We've had some repeats tonight for sure. Some better than others. Joe was exciting to watch qualify. I mean, if we're seeing repeats, doesn't that mean we should be seeing another gold? I feel like there should be another gold in one of these packs. Silver, Frankie Muniz. Got a Nemechek redemption on Friday. Phone died when they opened the last box. What the heck, man? You gotta charge that phone. Silver, Matt Kenseth. You're not seeing double, though, Micah. There's two of them sitting there. Since you missed it. Last I knew, Heim has led in every single race this season. Wow. That's impressive. That's what I mean. Like, he's had an incredible year, too, and I think it's just been overshadowed by Zilich. And I don't really know why, other than I guess because Zilich is coming to Cup. So he's getting, kind of the hype. Red Austin Hill going to Group Filler 1 and Micah. 95 out of 125. Yeah, you're crushing it with Junior. You're going to have a rainbow of juniors. Jeffrey Earnhardt Sparks. Sheet metal. Going to Rick. When I watched the ARCA race, was it last week? And thinking about these young rookie drivers and who Panini could include, they really need to look at including Isabella Robusto. That girl can drive. And I don't think she's going away. You know what I mean? Like, I think they're doing things the right way with her. She can flat out drive. Ryan Blaney, orange, going to Robert Rich. So I'm thinking they should be putting her in as a rookie at some point. I would hope soon. 43 of 49 for Blaney. Yeah, Taylor Reamer, yeah. Well, and you guys know I'm big on Kaylee Bryson, but she's just starting to kind of get the push. I think you'll start hearing more about Kaylee next year, if I had to guess. Tricolor Ty Dillon, but Kaylee Bryson she can race anything. Wing sprints, non-wing sprints, midgets. Basically, you name it, she races it. If it's got four wheels, she's racing it, kind of thing. They do have her shot. Oh, that's cold, Jonathan. That's cold. 50 of 99, Chase Elliott, another Enfuego red. Going to Steve. And last but not least, we got Ty Dillon on the trackside. Yes, Kaylee Bryson's the one that runs dirt a lot. Yeah. But she's ran a couple of ARCA races now. She also runs in this, grand... It's like a Grand Prix style something or other. You'd have to go to look her up on social media to know, because I don't know what I'm talking about. But it's a road course style race that she runs. And she's had several podiums in that. Like, I'm telling you, that girl can race. So, all right, let's do a quick recap. I want to thank everybody for the support. absolutely appreciate all of the support. Like I said, tomorrow night, football mixer. Should be a fun one. Still affordable, but fun. We had a door number, Jesse Love, white, tie-dye, Ken Schrader, and door number, red and fuego, Chase Elliott. So some nice ones. There are relics look like this. Jeffrey Earnhardt, Sparks, Justin Allgaier swatches. Blue Sparks, Jake Garcia. Almendinger swatches. Pedal to the Metal, Ice, Justin Allgaier. Souvenir swatches, Harvick. Chris Buescher, Pedal to the Metal. And Ben Rhodes. I'm going to put all the redemptions together, so we'll get all those at one time. Trackside Action Signatures, Bailey Curry. Select Signatures, Noah Gragson. Select Signatures, Corey Day, Rookie Auto. I think Corey Day's got a bright future as well. Redemptions, Harrison Burton, Trackside. Legendary Signatures, Tie-Dye. And Legendary Signatures, Silver, Joe Nemechek. 3 redemptions in 4 boxes is unusual for Select. We had the gold Mark Martin, the wrong door for the car, 6 of 10. Wrong door number. We got the gold Ken Schrader, 3 of 10. And then out of the 4 boxes, how about a pair of Dale Earnhardt Jr. autographs? Silver and purple. So, like I said, tonight's break was kind of streaky, kind of feast or famine, if you will. Some drivers were real hot, some drivers were real cold. But at any rate, that's all I got for tonight. And again, I appreciate everybody's support. I hope everybody has a great week. Good Monday. Hopefully see everybody tomorrow night for football. And we got double Monday night football games tomorrow night, which is awesome. If the break is filled, we'll probably break at halftime of the first game. That's going to be the tentative plan tomorrow night also. Stay tuned for the schedule to be coming out for the rest of the week, probably sometime tomorrow or Tuesday. And until then, we will see you guys next time.